Greetings, I'm Dev the Developer.
And I'm Glitch.
Every HTML element is a rectangle. Paragraphs, headings, images, buttons, all of them. The browser treats every element as a box, and there are 4 layers to that box. Once you understand the model, you will stop guessing at spacing and start controlling it. Before we look at any CSS, let's see the box model in action. We have an H1 on screen. If I open the browser DevTools and inspect it, 4 nested rectangles, each one a layer of the box. The numbers in each region are the actual values being applied right now. These are the browser's defaults before we've written a single rule.
Wait, so the box model is already there. I haven't written any CSS and those layers already exist.
Always. Every element has it from the moment the browser renders it. Writing CSS doesn't create the box model, it just changes the values. Glitch, put the diagram in the style sheet so we have something to reference. Think of it like a framed painting. The painting is the content. The matting between the painting and the frame is the padding. The frame itself is the border. The wall space between the frames is the margin.
Okay, so the painting and the matting move together as a unit. The matting takes on the color of whatever canvas it's mounted on.
That's the key distinction. Padding is inside the element, so it takes on the element's background color. Margin is outside and is always transparent. That matters when you're debugging and wondering why a background color stops where it stops. Let's set up the page we'll be styling as we go. Nothing complicated. No CSS yet. Everything is running on browser defaults. Elements stacked up, barely any space between them. We're going to fix that. Starting from the outside, margin controls the space outside an element's border. You can set all 4 sides at once or use shorthand. The values go clockwise, top, right, bottom, left.
Wait, so if I give it 2 values, it does top and bottom with the first one and left and right with the second. It groups opposite sides together.
Right. 1 value sets all 4 sides the same. 2 values set the vertical pair and horizontal pair separately. 4 values set each side individually, clockwise from the top. Padding uses the same shorthand, so you only have to learn it once. There is one margin behavior worth knowing on its own. Setting left and right margin to auto centers a block element horizontally inside its parent. It only works if the element has a defined width, though.
Wait, why does auto center it? That seems like a non-obvious thing to happen.
When the browser sees auto on a horizontal margin, it takes all of the remaining space on that side and fills it. Both sides set to auto, and the leftover space fills evenly between them. The element ends up in the middle, but only because both sides are competing for the same remaining space and they tie.
Oh, so it's not center it. It's take whatever space is left over and split it equally. Center is just what happens when both sides get the same amount.
For layout.
Yes, page layout, that is the only context I was referring to.
Moving inward, padding is the space between the content and the border. Same shorthand as margin. The difference is that padding is inside the element. The element's background color fills it. More padding means more background, not just more space.
So the background color fills all the way out to the border edge. The padding is where it shows.
Right, and a button with no padding looks cramped for the same reason. The label sits right at the edge with nothing around it. Now the border. It sits between the padding and the margin. A border declaration takes 3 values in this order: width, style, and color. The style is required. Leave it out and the border will not appear even if you set a color and a width.
Weight the style is required. Width and color are not enough on their own.
The browser needs to know how to draw the line. Width and color describe a line, but style is what tells the browser to draw one at all. Common values are solid, dashed, dotted, and none. None is useful for resetting a border that's defined somewhere else. You can also target individual sides when you only want a border on one edge. One property that pairs naturally with borders, border radius. It rounds the corner of an element. Technically outside the box model, but it comes up constantly.
That's actually a pretty small value. What happens if you go much larger?
Depends on the element's dimensions. On a square element, 50% gives you a circle. On a wider element, it gives you a bit of a pill shape. Most interface elements land somewhere between slightly rounded and pill. What looks right is actually a question of the design. Margin is outside the border, padding is inside, border is in between. The shorthand is the same for both margin and padding. Auto on horizontal margins center a block element by splitting leftover space evenly. Border needs width, style, and color in that order. Go back to a page you've already built and play with all three. Don't just watch it, do it.